The flight now moves to the next level of air traffic control, the tower.
We've changed frequency now to the tower from ground frequency here at Christchurch and are just positioning towards the end of the runway for our northerly departure.
And Christchurch New Zealand 651, be ready on reach.
651 Christchurch Tower, line up.
651 to line up.
So line up, okay.
Strobe and landing lights are switched on for the takeoff.
New Zealand 651 cleared to takeoff.
651, clear takeoff.
And the checks below the line, please.
Transponder,
On.
strobe landing lights,
All on.
full takeoff checklist complete.
Here we are now lining up on the northerly runway at Christchurch. Power levers up. And we're on our way.
Set. 80 knots.
Confirm.
B1.
Now,
Rotate.
India Whiskey, downward grass, full stop. The India Whiskey, cleared to left. There's a man, Delta India Whiskey.
Gear up, please.
Christchurch afternoon, New Zealand 651 is airborne through 400.
New Zealand 651, Christchurch, good afternoon. Identified climb throttle 260. Cancel SID, turn left heading 225.
Climbing 260, cancel SID left 225. 651.
Okay, going left.
SID stands for Standard Instrument Departure.
Climb thrust, please.
Simon sets the power for climb out and dials up the initial track of 225 degrees on the heading bug.
225 set.
Cue. And the SID's cancel, we're climbing 260.
260 on the letter.
Flaps up, please.
And the aircraft clean.
As Air New Zealand Flight 651 climbs out over the Waimakariri River, the crew are now under the direction of the Christchurch Air Traffic Control Centre. NAW's transponder tag shows the aircraft in a left-hand turn directly north of the field.
Heading 225 above our noise abatement altitude, 3,000 feet, so we accelerate now to a normal cruise or normal climb speed of 280 knots. The after takeoff checks, please, son.
Okay, apps complete, John. Climbing 260, set heading 40, be there 16.
New Zealand 651, cancel SID and set the 216 radial.
Set the 216 radial, 651.
Entered 809, contact control 129.3.
Okay, 216.
693,
and we're going
809.
left to the radial.
John puts the aircraft into a slight left-hand turn to intercept the Christchurch 216 radial. The direct course southwest into Queenstown.
We'll put the autopilot in now, we're just coming onto the radial. And we're on our way now through 12,000 feet towards Queenstown.
The aircraft continues climbing at a rate of 3,000 feet per minute, approaching 290 knots, and tracking Christchurch's 216 radial.
These particular 737s don't have auto throttles, and so manually I'm controlling the pitch of the aircraft to maintain the speed, whereby an auto throttled aircraft, you would set a speed and the pitch and power would be adjusted to suit.
651 approaches cruise altitude, and as a reminder, John has flight level 260 dialed up on the yoke. Minutes later, Christchurch ATC puts NAW 50 nautical miles southwest of Christchurch, levelling off at 26,000 feet. The autopilot altitude hold is engaged.
In the cruise, we just set the power manually, and the aircraft is sitting here quite nicely, doing 295 knots. It's the indicated speed, obviously over the ground. It's in the vicinity of 7 nautical miles per minute.
Back in the cabin, it's time to enjoy the Kiwi hospitality. Air New Zealand Flight 651 is approaching the descent point abeam of the Southern Lakes, on track to Queenstown.
Christchurch, New Zealand 651, request descent.
New Zealand 651, descend to 10,000 feet. Dunedin area QNH 1024.
10,000, 1024, 651.
We'll just start a slow descent and to get us clear of this cloud so we can give the people a decent view of the scenic countryside that's just outside. We've just gone into some cirrus cloud and it's obscuring our view. If we drop down a couple of thousand feet, this should go away.
As a precaution in the cold cirrus cloud, the anti-ice system is switched on.
Ineos is on, belts are open.
Thanks.
Descending through 21,000 feet, NAW is buffeted about in the cloud layer.
51 Queenstown flight service, good afternoon. The wind 210 degrees, 6 knots, visibility 50 kilometres. 2 octaves scattered cumulus 6,000 with high overcast of cirrus, temperature plus 17, QNH 1026.
1026, thanks, should be there at 16.
6 knots, we can handle that.
A light southwester of 6 knots awaits 651 at Queenstown, now 70 nautical miles southwest of the aircraft. Descending through 17,000 feet, NAW breaks cloud, tracking 218 degrees.
Anti-ice could go back off again, thanks. Switches can go off. Well, that looks good for a visual approach to Queenstown, Simon.
Yeah, it's great, nice and clear.
So we'll get ourselves set up, flaps 40. At this way it will be 113 knots, carry 5, 118.
13, 118.
The auto brakes can go medium. It'll be a visual approach for runway 23 at Queenstown and following via the white pages in the normal way.
Understood.
White pages is a reference to the published approach and runway charts.
Queenstown is one of our shorter fields for the 737 in New Zealand, 1,340 metres, just on 4,400 feet for those who still think imperially. And of course it's 1,171 feet above sea level. We're just descending through 16,500 feet now towards the Queenstown area. At the moment we've just got around 45 nautical miles to run. And we're broken out of that cirrus cloud into the clear. We can see Lake Wakatipu and the far end of the valley where the Queenstown airfield is. We've set our aircraft up with the descent approach checks, which we'll run when we go through transition altitude at 13,000 feet. And then we'll be making a visual approach to land into the southwest at Queenstown.
651 is approaching transition altitude, where the altimeter barometric pressure setting has changed from the standard 1,013 millibars to the local pressure, in this case 1,026.
And that's transition. 1,026.
1026.
.26 is set, that's within our limits, and 12,700 now.
Yes, exactly the same, 12,700.
And go ahead the list, please.
Sending 10,000, deep and IS bugs.
Our check and set
Auto brake,
is medium.
approach procedure,
That's reviewed.
altimeters,
Our set and cross check.
descent and approach checklist complete.
Approaching 10, we can cancel IFR, Simon, and proceed VFR.
Will do.
Minutes later, as NAW descends towards the mountains, line-of-sight radar contact is broken and the transponder tag disappears off the screen.
We'll just position so that I can get that left and right base into Queenstown via Arrowtown. Autopilot coming out.
John is now hand-flying NAW, setting up for the tight approach to runway 23 at Queenstown.
And Christchurch, New Zealand 651, approaching 10,000, like to cancel IFR, proceed VFR.
651, roger, IFR flight 10 maritime 07, passing 9,500 feet, contact Queenstown flight service 118.1.
9500, 1181, 651.